Hey everyone, this is Cynthia, psychic and astrologer. This is actually going to be a video about the Venus retrograde. If you haven't already heard about it, it actually starts December 19th and it will go direct on January 28th, 2022. So, you're wondering about Venus retrograde and what it's all about. Now, Venus actually rules the signs of Taurus and Libra. So if you're one of those signs, you'll definitely feel the impact of this Venus retrograde a bit more stronger than other signs. Now, Venus rules love and money, mainly love, money, beauty. Obviously, we think Venus is, goddess of beauty, goddess of love. But Taurus rules money, Libra rules love. So this is kind of one of those two big ones that we tend to focus on. Now, one of the things that I tend to put out there for people when we're dealing with the Venus retrograde is that we need to take a closer look at our relationships and our finances. So, first, let me focus on the love life. Now, one of the things that I notice with the Venus retrograde is that I've seen many, many times relationships coming to an end. This could be a regular breakup, separation, or divorce. Now, one of the things that I would say is that I've seen too many times that if a relationship ends during a Venus retrograde, it has about maybe less than a 5% chance that it will reconcile. So, your goal is that if you've been having problems in a relationship, is that you find a way to work through it, whether it's through counseling, therapy, just having open communication. But if you're already having problems now and there's even a breakup before the retrograde cycle, it's not going to make things any easier during the retrograde cycle. So your goal is to see how can we fix this if you still want to save the relationship or the marriage. I can't say if there is going to be the ability to be able to fix it. I always say in these situations that it falls upon the people that are in the relationship, that are in the marriage, and how badly they want to make things work. The only thing that I would say is if you do want to work things out, this could actually be a great time to discuss these issues and to bring them out in the open. And this could actually help in building a stronger relationship. If not, like I said, the retrograde cycle will just bring things to an end. Now, when it comes down to career and finances, there can be issues with finances and financial obligations. This could actually bring about a time for you to look closely at what has not been working for your career or for your finances, and that it's time to make a change. You may already be aware that you need to make these changes. So, the retrograde cycle is just going to make you more well aware that these changes need to start moving forward. Obviously, the retrograde cycle will continue into January, and this is the beginning of a new year and new beginnings. This could actually open up opportunities for you to change jobs, start a new career path, be open to new opportunities for the long term, and be open to seeing what you can do to bring in more money. And this could even be starting a business or a business venture. Now, I would say, if anything, this is actually a great time to maybe go back to school, take on new classes and courses to further your career, especially if you're looking maybe to start a new type of career path. Now, I would say, if anything, this is actually a great time for you to be open to where you want to be at for the future. And I mean, it could actually put you in a situation where you have to start thinking more about yourself and building up new opportunities on what direction you want to go, like I said, with your career and other opportunities out there. Um, the other thing, too, that I would say is that when it comes down to your finances, you could run into issues about getting paid properly and what you feel your value is worth. Maybe the money that you're making now is just not sufficient anymore. Um, if you are in a place where you feel like, hey, I just got a raise, but now I'm seeing, things going up, costing more, and I don't feel like I'm getting ahead. So what used to be okay financially now is not okay anymore. Now I need to make more money and bring in more money. And I need to start looking at other avenues to bring in more money. So this could easily put you in a situation to start being open to new opportunities to further your career and be open to change. And this could actually bring about, it could be a little scary. It could also be a time where you may not know what direction to take and if it's going to even work out. But there's also a part of you that's going to be open to taking those chances because you just don't know if by taking those chances will bring about the results you're looking for. The only thing that I would say is just have some patience that there's a lot of opportunity there that can easily work out for you. But the only thing is that it may not work out as quickly as you'd like it to. So I would say having a little patience, giving things a little time. And a little time could be a year, it could be 5 years. But at the same time, you want to just be open to what opportunities can come for you and if it could bring about the result that you're looking for. The other thing that I did want to bring about is about beauty. Anything relating with beauty, cosmetics, cosmetic work, cosmetic surgery. Mine is like dentistry stuff. Like if you need to get your teeth fixed, maybe stay away from doing any type of fancy, what I would consider fancy dental work. And what I mean by that is dental work that is not a major necessity. Um, the reason why I would say hold off on like getting tattoos, getting like some new eyebrow work done, s- surgeries for your, beauty like facelifts, Botox. Like I said, Venus rules beauty, and maybe you don't get the results you were counting on. Maybe you get bad side effects or something. I'm not sure. But it may not work out in the direction or in the way that you would have hoped. So that's kind of one of the things that I would say maybe to be aware of, that sometimes even the more nicer, fancier things that we think, oh, it's just a little touch up or it's just not going to, it may not work out the way you were hoping. So things like I said, sometimes even I've even had this happen where I went to get my hair done with a new hairstylist, and it was just a simple, you know, root touch up with some highlights, and the highlights came out awful. I mean, they were uneven. They just, for someone who claimed they were doing, you know, hair work with a hairstylist for over 10, 15 years, it looked like as if I was like their first client or something. That really, I thought, the whole Venus retrograde was just a myth on stuff like that. But no, it ended up working that it affected me. So things like that, like if you don't have to start a new hairstylist, or if you do, maybe try to keep it as simple as possible. Like if you wanted to go all out fancy and do something really nice, maybe wait out and just do a simple hairstyle. Or if you're coloring your hair, maybe don't look to them to do all the fancy colors, or just test them out to see, do I connect with this hairstylist? Something as simple as a hairstylist could bring about disappointment. If you're trying something new, like I said, whether it's beauty items, nails. I've seen with nails, somebody goes to a new nail salon and they don't like how the people did their nails. Things that we think it's not a big deal. It's just nails or it's just hair, no big deal. Ends up being a big deal. So things with beauty, I would say be careful of. So like I said, I mean, if you do need to get your hair done during that time, God only knows I do, I would say maybe just, maybe look into maybe the person that is doing it, that they have enough experience, or that they listen to what you want to get done and not just go in there with the, I trust you. And you don't even know if they're going to do it right. And then sometimes, I've sometimes seen like the other way around, where if you weren't happy in the past with someone you were working with, the new person may end up bringing exactly what you're looking for. So I have seen that happen, not as much as the other way, but I've seen stuff like that happen. And so that's with beauty. I would say, like I said, getting a tattoo, things that are permanent. I mean, if you can wait out until closer to February to do anything like that, especially things that are permanent, at least with hair and nails, you know, it's going to grow out or the color is going to go back to your old color, or you could redo it again in a month or two, you know. But things that are permanent, you don't wanna have the regret later on that, you know, you wanted something done and it didn't come out the right way, or that you were asking for something in particular and it just didn't look right. So, if I could, I would say give it maybe another couple months before doing anything like that. Now, obviously, like I was saying, you know, it rules, Venus rules the planets, the signs of Taurus and Libra. So these signs, or if you have it as a rising sign, may actually be affected by the Venus retrograde stronger than other signs. But I mean, everybody's going to feel some kind of effect somewhere. Now, I did put out, like I said, the weekly horoscope, but also the monthly horoscope on my website, thepsychicone.com. Check out the horoscopes so you can find out more in detail how it's going to affect your particular sign. If you happen to know your rising sign, make sure to read and listen to that horoscope too. Right now, I did want to just quickly kind of point out about the Venus retrograde. On my website, thepsychicone.com, under articles, I do have an article about the Venus retrograde, and that gives more in detail about everything that I was talking about. And I wrote that article, geez, at the beginning that I was doing readings, so about 20 years ago. So there's probably things that you would see that maybe may not make sense to you, and things that are current could easily make sense to you. So just one of those things to be aware of. You know, the big one is just riding through the Venus retrograde. You know, it will be in the sign of Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn or a Cancer, you probably might feel this a lot stronger too. But overall, the energy of a Venus retrograde, I mean, it can go either way. Um, I mean, I've seen people that don't really feel too much of an effect by it if they're not really focused on what the Venus retrograde is all about. They might even have car issues and not realize part of it could be of a Venus retrograde. So I would say making any kind of major purchases, I would try to hold out till the end of January or February time, especially if it's a vehicle. I've just seen too many cases where somebody buys even a brand new vehicle and end up with the biggest problems out there, even on a brand new vehicle. So if you can hold out maybe a little bit for that, that'd be great. If you can't because of circumstances, you know, just make sure you just know ahead of time, like if there's any issues that they can be resolved, or if you can come back to the same dealership or mechanic that could fix it for you and take care of those issues. Overall, just be aware that the Venus retrograde, like I said, will go on and go direct until January 28th. Um, Check out your horoscopes, your weekly horoscopes, your monthly horoscopes to find out how this will affect your particular sun sign. Just be aware of, you know, what can come about and if there's any way to resolve these issues. Like I said, especially if it involves a relationship, partnership, even a business partnership, anything related with finances can also affect you. It doesn't have to be with love. It could also be in work or a work environment. However, you can find a way to work through it, fix it, be great, and you'll get through this as easily. As soon as you know it, we're moving on and starting the new year.